This is why I'm betting big on blockchain gaming. And yes, I'm aware I was there in 2021 when there was already a big hype around blockchain games. I mean, they pumped and they dumped, and most of the games that promised a lot didn't even show up. They didn't even survive until this point in the bear market, which is pretty embarrassing. But I don't think that blockchain gaming has even begun. I don't think it even got started. So in this video, I'm gonna break down my main reasons and provide you some evidence on why blockchain gaming is probably going to make a massive run in the next bull cycle for crypto. Even though gamers hate crypto, they hate the concept of blockchain gaming. Even with all that being said, there's still a lot of potential here that you have to pay attention to. Crypto gaming is not dead. If you don't know me, my name is Vic and I make videos helping you achieve financial independence. If that sounds like something you want to do, then give me a thumbs up on this video. Okay, so scrolling through CoinMarketCap, through the blockchain gaming projects, we can see that this is pretty much a graveyard. We've seen so many projects come, promise a lot, put out fancy white papers, beautiful websites, and then they don't deliver anything because these teams are not real game developers. They're just kind of entrepreneurs in the space who maybe worked at, Ubisoft for a year, and then now they're these big fancy game developers. But we all know, and we've all seen, that a lot of that was just hot air. In 2021, VCs and retail investors made a ton of money. They pumped up these hot air gaming projects that didn't really even have a game. And then it all dumped when obviously the market came crashing down last year in 2022. But some games survived, and a small portion of them thrived. I'm talking about big time, Illuvium. These games that actually have sick graphics, they have great gameplay, they use blockchain technology, they use NFTs and they have their own native tokens, and they're just genuinely dope games. I mean, if they had nothing to do with crypto, they would still do well in the open market. But the difference between these games and something like, Hogwarts Legacy is that the assets you gather in the game are stored on the blockchain and they're not going anywhere. And also they have their own native token, which if you look at Illuvium's native token, the tokenomics are fantastic. But what's so crazy about these games that have survived and have thrived during the bear market is that they contribute to an enormous amount of blockchain transactions. And actually, it just came out that 48% of all blockchain transactions came from play-to-earn games. That's almost half of every transaction on every blockchain has to do with a game being played right now. Super bullish sign, if you ask me, for blockchain gaming. Now, finding the right game, investing into the right token or NFTs, that's a higher risk play because naturally, video games have a short shelf life. We're talking 2 years, 3 years, for the majority of them. It doesn't take long before these things become outdated and the new wave of games comes out and makes the other ones irrelevant. I mean, look at Call of Duty. It has a new game every single year. So instead, I'm focusing more on the infrastructure side of things. So companies and projects that actually build the technology and the developer kits so game developers can actually plug NFTs, native tokens, have their own wallets right into their games easily without having to go through like that whole blockchain learning curve headache. One of the projects that I'm holding is called Engine. It pretty much does exactly that. It creates an infrastructure for other projects and games and businesses to jump in, create NFTs, native tokens, and things on the blockchain without having to go through that learning cycle. Full disclosure, I'm not connected to them whatsoever, and that's not an ad placement. Now, if you're a traditional PC gamer, you've probably heard of Unity. Now, Unity is kind of like that infrastructure that allows anybody to just go out and make indie games pretty easily. A lot of games are built on Unity. It's an engine. And recently, Unity put out something crazy. They actually announced 13 different blockchain partners that have integrated apps into Unity's store. So essentially, a game developer can just in one click plug in Solana or Algorand or Aptos and all of their network features right into their game. This is a huge push forward because so many gamers already love Unity. And if Unity is backing up the blockchain, that opens the door for so many games to be developed using this technology. Another incredibly bullish sign for blockchain gaming. So you might be wondering, why does a video game need a blockchain? They seem like two completely separate things. I mean, a video game doesn't necessarily need NFTs or need a native token to function. But recently I saw the problem firsthand. Let me tell you about it. It all happened when my friends told me about this game that I had heard about before, but I never played. You might have heard of it. It's called GTA RP. And it stands for Grand Theft Auto Roleplay. Essentially, they've taken Grand Theft Auto 5 and developers will re-mod a server and turn the server into a virtual world where you roleplay as a completely made up character that has a job, that can earn money, that can get items, and really just live in society. And if you break the rules of the roleplay, or you just start killing people and beating people up, you get banned. So they're very serious about this roleplay element. There's even certain lingo, like instead of saying you're logging on, you're flying in. Things like this, they take it very, very seriously. And I had to try it because I thought it was hilarious. And when I played it, honestly, it was the closest thing I've ever felt to an actual gaming metaverse. So many projects try to create this, but GTA RP was that. But there was a very, very severe problem looking everybody in the face. Now, in GTA RP, you can pay the admins, the creators of the modded server, for custom cars, a brand new house, or you can go out and make that money on your own to get a gun or different inventory like food and water and things you need to digest in order to survive. So there's like a digital currency element in this game already. But there's a couple problems. First off, if I buy a car off an admin, they get 100% of my money, and then they just pocket it and I get this digital car. The second problem, which is way worse, is something called poofing. Now, an item can go poof. And what that means is that essentially it was in your inventory, but now randomly it's not. It just disappeared. And this is a pretty normal thing in GTA RP when items just go poof. Now, if I paid $200 for a car and it poofs out of my inventory, I'm gonna be kind of pissed. But this is a pretty regular occurrence in GTA RP, which obviously the blockchain solves. If I bought that car off of the admin on the blockchain and I got it as an NFT, it's stored on the blockchain, the ownership is there, it could never poof. It literally lives there. And this is why the future of gaming, of online gaming, of networks and ecosystems and economies that live digitally have to have a blockchain to secure the items and investments that the players and the users make. And it's even been rumored that GTA 6, the most hyped and anticipated game potentially to ever be released, will have its own native currency and be built on the blockchain. Now, you can bet that if that happens, this game comes out in the middle of a bull cycle, at the start of a bull cycle, crypto gaming tokens are going to go parabolic. That news would send things to the moon. Maybe not when it actually deployed, because you know what they say, buy the hype, sell the news, but that news, that confirmation would send things flying. So I'm getting in now, buying my infrastructure tokens, and I'll see you there. Obviously, this is not financial advice, it's just my opinion, but I do appreciate you watching, and if you enjoyed it, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.